kind of crazy. I mean, my managers barely reach out to me now, which is nice. Like, for example, her and my director, their shift started at 9 a.m. It's like 12:09 p.m. and I haven't heard from them, and I love it. And I don't want to hear from anybody, to be honest. What's interesting is that just having all of this in place also stabilized my culture as well too. And that's something that I didn't necessarily think that would happen, right? My time has definitely been freed up and there's a dollar value associated with my time. And that's really what I was looking for. If I had to put a, I don't know, a quantifiable number, how much time is saved, I would say probably at least 10 hours a week. A lot of this information knowledge that was here is now in one place and it continues to be added. There's a lot better, more accountability with my team because, there's all these SOPs and I've assigned, certain people to be owners of these SOPs. So they feel more empowered as well. And that impacts the culture as well too. And they know to really, I should be the very, very, very last point of contact to figure out any problems. My staff can discover stuff without me. Culture has improved and it's been, phenomenal, like phenomenal adjustment.
My name is Mark Mallion. I'm the co-founder of Modern Operators. Today I sat down with Bilal Memon. He is the CEO and founder of Rewind Bar. Bilal is going to share a little bit of his experience working with us. Enjoy. Maybe you could kick things off and just tell us a little bit about Rewind Bar and who you serve and tell us a little bit overview of the company.
So we're Rewind Bar. We are a medical spa. We're tapped into medical aesthetics and wellness. We want to open up several locations, and in order to do that, you have to have the systems dialed in to help you grow. And we have one location. We are opening our second location by the end of the year, which I'm excited about. And the goal is to hopefully open up, two new locations per year.
So you started working with us, I want to say like mid to late March. What were you doing to manage your systems and operations before Modern Operators? Where were you the bottleneck? Where were things breaking?
Before you guys came into the picture, we had one Google Doc with so many different tabs. And then within each tab, we had so many different SOPs. So number one, a Google Doc, you can't even search for anything across the entire document, right? You can do it on a per tab basis, so that's annoying. And number two, we had no idea what we documented and what was not documented. And so we just kept adding new SOPs that we already did before in the past as well too. And we didn't assign any stakeholders to the SOPs. It was just really just one person that was putting it through. That system wasn't working, unfortunately. A lot of whenever they came issues or whenever they came scenarios on how to do this or how to do that, I would be kind of the point of contact. If you're literally answering everybody's question all the time, if people don't know what to do in specific scenarios, it's a very owner dependent business. So the staff was like a little bit overwhelmed because they're like, we're operating under so many Google Sheets. I don't even know where to access which one. And oftentimes, what would happen is that sometimes the staff would be comfortable with the Google Sheet, and then like a month later, they would forget where to access it. They would always be reaching out to me, and that was a pretty inefficient process. Our operations manager wouldn't know. The operations manager would go to me. So with this constant circle, I would be getting calls multiple times a day for like very, very little things as well. The problem was not really the staff. The problem was that, hey, where's the answer to all this stuff, right?
Was there a specific moment in time when you realized that you needed help and something needed to change?
When I signed the lease for the second location, I'm like, all right, I can't run a business this way. I have to create the systems to enable my business to grow without me. I would ideally like to be away for like 2 months and nobody reached out to me and things are going well. And what I realized is that your business should be growing and operating the same, whether it's a busy day or a non-busy day. And so I'm like, you know what? I definitely don't have that. I gotta figure out how to make that happen.
What made you choose us over some of the other people that are on your line?
When I talked to you, Mark, you told me that the first really like the first couple weeks, before we even get started in the onboarding, you would really try to understand our business. I very much appreciated that because I'm a big believer in if we bring on any sort of vendor or partner in the company, they need to take the time to understand the business as opposed to just enforcing stuff. You guys made it clear that we understand your existing workflows and processes first and foremost, and then figure out a way to make it 10x better. So number one, I appreciated that. Number two is you guys in our discovery call, I told you about some of the problems we're having, and then you're like, hey, bingo below, here's exactly how I would tackle it. And what you said made sense. right? Hey, I would first, document all of your SOPs, split that up into, policies and checklists. I would add your services. I would add, your treatments. I would add your skincare systems. That way, everything is very much searchable for your staff. Additionally, the way you kind of described kind of the outcome is you start off with one thing to document in Notion and you start building on top of it. So everything can build on top of each other.
We've been doing this now for 3 months. What has the typical week or month been like for you? What is this process? How is this?
It's kind of crazy. I mean, my managers barely reach out to me now, which is nice. I'll be honest with you. Like, for example, today, you know, um, the manager, her and my director, their shift started at 9 a.m. It's like 12:09 p.m. and I haven't heard from them, and I love it. And I don't want to hear from anybody, to be honest. And I would say, what's interesting is that just having all of this in place also stabilized my culture as well too, because and that's something that I didn't necessarily think that would happen. Right? It's like okay, because what would happen before is that I'd be following with them on certain things, and then everybody would get all stressed, right? That's all happening through Notion. We're not even communicating via Slack or even phone anymore. If there was any frustration on where people can access knowledge, they know now how to access it now, right? Without going through circles now. And so things are running very smoothly. I know there's still things that we got to work on, but things are running very smoothly. My time has definitely been freed up, and there's a dollar value associated with my time, and that's really what I was looking for. You know, a lot of this information knowledge that was here is now in one place, and it continues to be added. There's a lot better more accountability with my team because there's all these SOPs, and I've assigned certain people to be owners of these SOPs, so they feel more empowered as well, and that impacts the culture as well too. So overall, my time has been honestly freed up quite a bit, and they know to really, I should be the very, very, very last point of contact to figure out any problems. My staff can discover stuff without me. Culture has improved, and it's been, phenomenal, like phenomenal adjustment.
Was there anything like, wow, how these guys are doing it differently? Were there things that surprised you?
When you guys started adding like the staff roles and the people, right? And things like that, I'm like, you know what, that's pretty self-explanatory. But to tag specific roles to specific SOPs, because you never know, people could leave, right? Within a role. Imagine tagging a specific person, and then you're gonna have to go back and then re-update that when that person doesn't work for you again. And that 100% made sense. I'm like, oh wow, that's awesome. I think separating our SOPs into kind of checklists and how to processes versus documents, and making sure that the checklists are very easy to understand and also easy to implement. I think that was really awesome that you guys kind of dug into that. Also, the SOP, you guys built me an SOP builder. It's like an AI agent that just makes sure that we don't have messy SOPs. And so whoever's doing the SOPs, it's just kind of consistent, whether I do it, whether my ops manager, my director, my service provider does it. So I think that was really awesome. I think for me, I didn't know, to be honest, the full capabilities of Notion. I used to use Notion for like task management, like back in the day, but not really beyond that. I never thought about it as like my company OS. So I thought that was really, really helpful and very, very powerful.
What are some specific measurable outcomes that you've seen through this process?
Yeah, number one are the projects that we have, they're being completed on time, right? Before it was, I tell them here, the staff, I want you guys to work on this initiative, and no real deadlines being assigned, no accountability, no status updates. So, you know, sure, the easy part is setting a deadline, setting a priority, putting it in Notion. But what's better for me is that I don't have to do the follow-ups. Like now what's happening in Notion under the task, there's a log section where they're giving me status updates on whatever the heck is happening. So projects are being completed on time, which is, moving the clinic forward and making way for new kind of projects and initiatives. And then I'm spending a lot less of my time kind of like pressure testing and like calling people out and then following up and all that, which is a complete waste of my time. And that has reduced significantly. So time saved, right? Definitely tremendous amount. If I had to put I don't know, a quantifiable number, how much time is saved, I would say probably at least 10 hours a week. And then I would say projects completed on time, I would say definitely 95% plus. I would take that any day.
What would you say to somebody who's on the fence about working with us?
If they really care about their time and they want to, they want to free up their time, right? And that's really what business owners want. They want to free up their time more than I mean, at least for me, I care more about freedom of time over the money that I make. This is a no-brainer. You know, Mark has been great. Damon has been great. Zaleen has been exceptional. Don't even hesitate. Your life will be much easier. Your staff will be happier, and your business will grow without a lot of your day-to-day involvement. So if that's the dream outcome that you're looking to achieve, these guys are reliable. They know their stuff, and I would recommend them tremendously. So far, it's allowed me to achieve what I want is not being reached out to, and things are moving very smoothly. There's no dollar amount to that number. You know what I'm saying? To that freedom. So for sure. And that's my biggest benefit out of this.
Well, look, I really appreciate you as a client. I'm so glad that we got to do this together. And frankly, man, like with this new location opening up in just a couple of months, blessings to you and your family and your growth and your success. And take care, okay? Bye.
All right, take care.